Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Welcome everyone to ISKCON of Silicon Valley, under the protection of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya. Today, after several years of drought, we've finally gotten our life and soul back. His Holiness Radhanatha Swami. Please welcome him. And for those of you who are here maybe as guests, this is an initiation ceremony that will be taking place today. And we welcome you to observe this most auspicious of ceremonies, where devotees will be taking vows to take devotional service strictly, seriously, and sincerely the rest of their lives. And now once more, please welcome His Holiness Radhanatha Swami. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, we start off with Achaman, and then we do Brahma-Samhita Prayers. You give the talk, and the candidates will come for initiation, and then we can have the small fire sacrifice towards the end, Maharaj. Thank you. So, you have the Achman cup, so kindly repeat after me. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavasthan gatopi va yah smaret pundarikaksham sabahya abhyantara shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. You take a sip of water in your hand and look at the water and just say Om Keshavaya Namaha and sip it. The second sip, Om Narayanaya Namaha. And then the third sip, Om Madhavaya Namaha. Once more, Om Apavitra Pavitro va Sarvavasthan Gatopi va Yah Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabahya Abhyantara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. Again, take one sip of water. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Third sip. Om Madhavaya Namaha. For the last time. Om Apavitra Pavitro va Sarvavasthan Gatopi va Yah Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabahya Abhyantara Shuchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu. For the last time, Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. We now do the Brahma-Samhita Prayers, or should we directly go because of the time? Okay. So let's do the Brahma-Samhita Prayers. If you can project on the screen, please.
Just from Ishvara Paramakrishna, we'll go to Ishvara Paramakrishna Sakshir Ananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Chintamani Prakara Sadma Sukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vriteshu Surabhira Pipalayantam Lakshmi Sahasra Shata Sambrama Sevyamanam Govinda Mari Purusham Dhamaham Venum Kwanantam Adavindam Dhamayatasham Bharavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govinda Mari Purusham Dhamaham Bhajami Alola Chandra Kala Sarmanamaya Vamshi Ratnangadam Pranayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tribangalavitam Niyata Prakasham Govinda Mari Purusham Tamaham Vajami Angami Yas Sakalendriya Vrittimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadujvala Vigrahasya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavaram Cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atmapakrau Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Antasukoti Shatavatsara Sampragamyo Vayodatapi Manaso Muni Pungavanam Sobhyasya Prapadasanya Vichintya Tattve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Eko Pyasaura Charitum Jagadanda Kotim Yashakti Rasti Jagadanda Chayaya Tanta Anandantarasta Paramanu Chayantarastam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yadbhava Bhavi Kadiyo Manujasta Taiva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sayadana Bhusha Suttaya Neva Nigava Pratikai Suvanti Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavikavis Tadhirya Eva Nijarupa Kadapi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santat Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ramadi Murti Shukalani Amena Tishtam Nanavataram Akarodu Ganeshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Parama Pumanyo Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Yasya Prabha Prabhapato Jagadanda Koti Koti Sushesha Vasudari Vibhuti Vrindam Tad Brahma Nishkalam Anantam Ashesha Bhutam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Maya Hiyasya Jagadanda Satani Sute Traigunya Tat Vishaya Veda Vitaya Mana Sattva Valambi Parasattvam Vishuddha Sattvam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chinmaya Rasatmataya Manasu Yapradinam Pratipadam Smaratam Upetya Lilayatena Bhuvanani Jayatejasram Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Goloka Namni Nijagamni Talekakasya Devi Mahesha Haridam Suteshu Teshu Dete Prabhavan Vichaya Vihitashyanena Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanadi Viparati Durga Ishana Rupam Abhiyasya Chakeshtate Sa Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Shiram Yatha Gadapikara Vishesha Yoga Sanjayate Nahitata Pratakasti Heto Yasham Bhutam Apitata Samupaiti Karya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Deeparshadeva hi dashankaramabhyupetya Deepayate vrivatahetu samanatharva Yastatrageva hi cha Vishnu chaya vipati Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yakarnardavajale bhajati sma yoga Nidramananta jagadanda saromakupa Adhara shaktim avadamya param samurtim Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yashaika nishvasitakala matavalamya Jivanti loma vilaja jagadandanatha Vishnur mahan sadihayasya kala vishesho Govindamadi purusham samaham bhajami Bhasvam yatasvam sakadeshu nijeshu teja Sriyanti yat prakatayat tat vitaggatatra Brahma yadesha jagatanga vidana karta Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yat pada pallava yugam vinidaya kumbha Vandre pranama samaye saganadi raja Vignan vihantum alamasya jagatrayasya Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Agnir mahi gangaramam murudishascha Kalastatma manasiti jagatrayani Yasmad bhavanti vikavanti vishanti yamcha Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yakshakshuresha sabita sakala grahana Raja samasta suramuti rashesha tejaha Yasyajnaya brahmati samprata kala chatro Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Karmota papa nichaya shutayastapamsi Ramadikita pataka vadayascha jiva Yadhatra matra vibhava prakata prabhava Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yasvindra kopam atadendra mahosakarma Pandanurupa palabhajana matanoti Paramani nirgahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Yam krodhakam sahaja pranayadhi iti Vatsalya moha guru gaurava sevya bhavai Sanchintyatasya sadrishin tanumapurete Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami Sri Akanta Kanta Paramapurusha Kalpataravo Druma Bhumishchintamani Garamayito Yamamratam Kataganam Natyam Gamanam Apipam Shri Priyasaki Chiranandam Jyoti Paramapi Kataswadyamapi Cha Sayatra Shiradpi Sravati Surabhi Tyashka Sumahan Nimeshatyakyo Va Vrajati Nahiyatrapi Samayaha Bhaje Shvita Dvipam Tamaham Vihagolokamidhyam Vidantaste Shantakshiti Viralachara Katipaye Ato Vacha Mahavishnur Bhagavantam Prajapatim Brahman Mahatma Vijnane Prajasarge Chachinnati Pancha Shlokim Imam Vidyam Vatsatatvam Nibodame Prabhude Jnana Bhakti Vyam Mayananda Chinmayi Ude Tunatama Bhaktir Bhagavat Prema Lakshana Pramanaistadacharaistadyasenirantaram Bodhayanatmanatmadam bhaktimapyuttamam labhe Yasya shreyaskaram nasti yaya nivritim apnuyat Yasariyati mameva bhaktin tameva sarayet Dhammanandyan padityaja mamekam bhaja vishwasan Yadrishi shraddha siddhir bhavati tadrishi Kurvan nirantaram karma loko yam anuvartate Tenaiva karmana dhyayam mam param bhakti mishriti Aham hi vishwasya characharasya bijam pradhanam prakriti pumanscha Maya hitam teja idam vivarshi Vide videhi tvamato jaganji Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam Tishri Brahma-Samhita Sampurnam Hari Om
Om Agyantimidandasya Gyananjanachalakaya Chakshurun Bilidham Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Juthapatakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Raghunathanbitam Tham Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahakana Lalita Sri Vishakan Bitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatyate Shatharine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati iti namine Shri Varshavanavi Devi Dayathaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojvala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktita Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Sri Murtaye Dinatharine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambodhe Padam Bojayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdesta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhoma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vanchakalpatharubhyascha Kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Bananyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namane gauratvishe namaha. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam bhaktarupa swarupakam bhaktavataram bhaktakyam namami bhakta shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Jayatham Suratha Upangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvaswa Padambojao Radha Madanamohanao Divyat Brindaranya Kalpadrumadha Sriman Ratnagara Singhasanastao Shri Radha Rachina Govinda Devo Prestalibi Sevyamano Smarani Sriman Rasarasarambi Bamsivata Tatastita Karshan Venu Svanai Gopir Gopinata Sriyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindabaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Binda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna. On behalf of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our most worshipable acharyas of the Brahma-Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, we will begin this ceremony of initiations. I'm very grateful to be back with all of you. By the inconceivable and causeless mercy of our founder, Acharya Srila Prabhupada, we have this opportunity to share His divine grace among each other. Srila Prabhupada would begin such ceremonies where vows are taken with the particular verse that our Srivas Pandit Prabhu recited. Om Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yasmaret Pundarikaksham Sabhayabhyantara Suchi. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. The meaning of this verse is very much at the heart of the purpose of initiation and life itself. Whether one is pure or impure, or having passed through all situations of life, one who remembers the all-pure Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has beautiful lotus eyes, Krishna, becomes purified within and without. This is a name of Krishna, Pavitra. He is forever supremely pure. By coming in contact with Krishna, through remembering Krishna, our heart, our mind, our lives become purified. Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna has descended, incarnated in the sound of his holy names. Jetodarpana Marajanam Bhava Mahadavakni Nirvapana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that this is the principle that opens the doors to the highest liberation. Prema Pumarta Mahan. Eternal love for Krishna. When Srila Prabhupada defined or even discussed love for Krishna or bhakti, he made it very clear what it was. He didn't say devotion, he said devotional service. In fact, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his teachings to Srila Sanatana Goswami, he established the foundation of all levels of purification and liberation, which was that we are eternally the servants of Krishna. Jivara Swarupoy Krishna Nityadas. In forgetfulness, we are constantly, we always have been and we always will be serving Krishna. We're either serving his external material energy under the modes of goodness, passion, or ignorance, deluded by the ahankar or the false ego, where we forget that we are Krishna's parts and parcels. We forget the true and only real desire of the soul, which is to serve Krishna with love forever. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. To please Krishna is the only true spiritual standard of success. And to the degree we prioritize that idea in our lives, will actually make spiritual progress. But under the illusion of the false ego, we are serving Krishna's external energy. In the name of so-called freedom to enjoy, We are, from a spiritual perspective, slaves. Slaves of the ego, the mind, the senses, the external energy. In this sense, you can't stop serving Krishna. Nityo nityanam chaitanas chaitanam eko bahunam yovidadati kama. It's just a matter of how we serve him. If we serve the external energy, not understanding that our body, our mind, our egos, the whole material existence, and everyone that exists or forever will exist, we're all Krishna's energies. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives us hints of how to remember him. Rasoham apsukontiya pravashmi shashishuryayo pranava sarvavedishu shabdaki purusham. We're seeing Krishna every day, at every moment. Krishna tells, I'm the light of the sun and the moon. You can't see without light. That means the power to see anything and everything. It's Krishna's energy. Krishna's the sound in ether. That means anything we hear is Krishna. Anything we taste. I'm the taste of water, and water is the basis of all taste. But disconnected, Maya. Srila Prabhupada so brilliantly encapsulated the whole concept of Maya, which is defined in volumes of literatures, in one phrase: that which is not. The purport of that ordinarily takes millions of lifetimes to study and understand. Krishna's in everything, but we're not seeing him. Whatever Maya promises us, it's not true. She promises happiness only to get us to long for something, and then when we achieve it, to become attached to it. Inevitably, so we suffer. Because everything's taken away. We're not this body, but it's Krishna's energy that we're entrusted with. We're not this mind or the brain that processes the various impulses of the mind. But it's Krishna's energy we're entrusted with. We're not the power to speak or the power to hear, the power of intelligence or the power of action. This is all Krishna's energy entrusted to us. So we're either serving the deluding potency that keeps us always unhappy, with the moments of happiness only entangle us in unhappiness. That which is not. When we come to the path of truth, atato brahma jigyasa, then we revert to our original natural spiritual purpose, to serve Krishna. Adosha tata sadhu sangota bhajana kriya. Begins with that by Krishna's grace, some faith awakens in our heart. And the Paramatma, Krishna, who is always in our heart as our friend, our well-wisher, our witness, never leaves us, whether we like it or not. Devotees find so much shelter knowing that Krishna's watching, listening, hearing, feeling everything we think, do, and say. Doesn't that give us shelter? Sometimes. Sometimes we wish he wasn't there. That's Maya. Because you can't get away with anything. Because actually all of our spiritual progress is determined by how Krishna in our heart is pleased with what we do, say, and think. Krishna guides us to the association of devotees. In the association, we learn the process of Krishna consciousness, Sanatana Dharma. Then we accept a spiritual master. And we dedicate our lives to following. Yayatamam papatyante tamstataiva pajamyaham. According to the intent, the intensity, the will to surrender, Krishna reveals himself. That is why it is so important, this process of initiation, where we take vows. In one sense, vows are really a burden. They could be seen as restrictive. After all, we've been following all of these rules and all of these regulations, many of you for some years. So why do we take vows? The idea of samskara, this initiation is a samskara. It's to make a deep and hopefully unforgettable impression in our minds and hearts, so that we take responsibility. We take vows before our gurus, the assembled Vaishnavas, before our founder Acharya, before Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, and also Lord Nrsimhadev. Here at Mountain View, Lord Nrsimhadev has come to watch your vows. And that's a special feature to help us take it seriously. Because it's not that everything is smooth and just really easy and breezy after we take initiation. The same temptations, the same obstructions are going to be there in life. But there are some differences. One is we are alert, we are aware. I am responsible for the vow I've taken. Although we always have free choice, we choose to not have a choice. Does that make sense? Thank you for your... We choose to follow Krishna and to follow the parampara of the word of Krishna that's coming through our Shiksha Gurus, our Diksha Gurus, and our preeminent founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Another special blessing of taking initiation is in taking these vows, we're actually committing ourselves to a connection with the Guru Parampara. This means all of the acharyas are with us. When we take initiation, the Diksha Guru is a link to connect us with the current of the mercy of all the previous acharyas. And Srila Prabhupada explains so beautifully how the Shiksha Guru and the Diksha Guru are actually non-different because the same connection is coming. But that acceptance of responsibility very much connects us to the divine grace of Krishna coming through the whole disciplic succession and all the acharyas. It is an inconceivable sacred event. If only all of us could understand how sacred it is, how special it is, we would probably lose consciousness and gratitude. But we can try to understand. And gradually, as we become purified, our gratitude and our realizations of the gift of good fortune we received increases more and more. By following, after initiation, the teachings of our Guru Parampara, Anartha-Nivriti, we become purified. All these processes of devotional service, Shravana Kirtana Smarana Bandhana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakijana Atmani Vedana. They are all non-different than Krishna because they connect us with Krishna. And of the 9 processes, the foundation is hearing and chanting. Hearing from Srila Prabhupada's books, hearing from our acharyas, hearing from senior devotees, hearing from devotees who repeat the message of the Lord, hearing the holy names and chanting the holy names. Parikshit Maharaj was the personification of an example of one who attains perfection by hearing. In other words, we're meant to follow in the footsteps of these great souls. Parikshit Maharaj, he didn't just turn on a live stream while he was mowing the lawn or something. That we should do that when we're mowing the lawn. But the intensity, he had 7 days to live. And he chose to give every moment of his life to hearing about Krishna. That sense of urgency. And actually, the more we take it seriously and surrender in a sense of urgency, although it may sound contrasting, it's actually the most fun. There is no fun like surrender. There's no enjoyment like renunciation. Does that make sense? Theoretically, but it's true. Because actual happiness is ananda. It's a quality of the soul. And to the degree we're really surrendering with Krishna, with gratitude, we realize that. And then nishta, our faith becomes very strong. And we develop strong attachment to Krishna. And to the degree we're attached to Krishna, we become detached from all the distractions of life. And gradually bhava, our love for Krishna, manifests. And then prema. We realize our eternal serving relationship with Krishna. I'm so grateful to be here. My beloved senior godbrother, Vaisheshika Prabhu, and my beloved senior god sister, Nirakula Devi, have given you their hearts, their lives, their souls for so many years. And I'm just trying to help them. Somehow or other, they want me to sit here, so here I am. But I'm, just like all of you, I am receiving so much inspiration and blessings from them. Thank you, Vaisheshika Prabhu and Nirakula Devi, and whatever clapping you did before, do so much more. That was wonderful. We chanted Brahma-Samhita to prepare for the ceremony. As we were reciting, I remember years ago, a devotee told me that he studied who Srila Prabhupada quoted the most in his lectures and purports. And it was Lord Brahma. Besides the Bhagavad Gita, it was Brahma-Samhita. Lord Brahma is the first guru of our parampara. At the very beginning of creation, it is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna created Brahma, Atmabhu, from his own self on a lotus flower. And our parampara began with Brahma not knowing who he was or what he was supposed to do or where he was or how to do anything. Is Vaisheshika Prabhu, you can help me? Oh, we have among us the very reason we're here. Her Grace Malati Devi Prabhu. When Srila Prabhupada just had a tiny little storefront on rent in the Lower East Side of New York, he came to San Francisco, just had a small handful of followers. And then Malati Devi, Janaki Devi, Yamuna Devi, Shamasunda Mukunda, Guru Das Gurus, they all, when they joined, and then gradually they started preaching, our movement spread throughout the world. She helped to begin San Francisco. Actually, New York, the Lower East Side, was becoming Krishna conscious. This is the way I interpret. In San Francisco, the whole America started understanding Krishna consciousness. And when Malati Devi and her associates went to London, the entire world. But for Srila Prabhupada, that wasn't enough. He sent them to India. Because they were not so much listening to London in those, and established Krishna consciousness. Like, what do we see in India today? And how many people from India, directly or indirectly, are connected to Krishna consciousness? And it began with just Malati Prabhu and a few devotees giving their lives, risking their lives to assist Srila Prabhupada. And we have Akruranath Prabhu and Jagarini Devi. Two devotees who are so dedicated, sincere, brilliant, thoughtful, well-wishers of everyone. And we have my very dear god sister, Kanka Devi. Whatever sunny days or stormy days or nights come, she's always just a loving servant of Srila Prabhupada and always such a well-wisher of little people like me. Thank you, Kanka Devi. And is there any other god brothers or god sisters? Manmohini Devi. I'm so grateful that you're here, wherever you may be. So Lord Brahma, he was on that lotus flower, and it was just darkness all around. He was trying to understand what he was supposed to do. He started climbing down the the stem of the lotus flower, and it was really a big lotus flower. And he was climbing and climbing and climbing, and it just seemed to never end. And then he came to this ocean, which was a tumultuous ocean. And he just climbed back up. Now, here is Brahma. He came to the realization that he's helpless. And he heard these words, tapa, and he began to meditate. And he meditated on Krishna. And Krishna manifested to him. And Brahma became the first disciple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead within our universe. And he happened to be the only person in the universe too, besides Krishna. And Krishna initiated him. Initiated him with knowledge of all the Vedas. Brahma's supposed to create everything in the universe, but he didn't know what to do. Krishna gave him the intelligence and the abilities to create everything. But most of all, Krishna instructed Brahma before the creation, the purpose of the creation. Dukalayam Ashashvatam. The creator of the creator tells that this creation is a place where suffering is default. And we're trying to enjoy here. Good luck. Everybody else is doing it. That's the way we get influenced, but it's not. It's a place of suffering. And these days we're recognizing it a little. At least we have more of a chance. So obvious. But still Maya is so strong, promising us relief in forms that lead to suffering, promising us happiness in experiences that lead to distress. So Brahma gives us the knowledge of all the Vedic literatures and all the various levels to disentangle us from that egoistic pursuit of enjoyment and the culmination, unconditional, unmotivated love for Krishna, and to serve in that spirit. So Brahma is the original guru. In the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, we find a whole chapter of prayers of Lord Brahma. All those prayers were spoken today on Balaram Jayanti. I'm so happy we could recite Brahma-Samhita today. It is the appearance day of Lord Balaram. We have initiation, so I have to kind of recalibrate what I'm speaking. But the birth of Lord Brahma, should we speak on that after? Okay. We'll speak about how Balaram appeared in this world. But on his birthday, every year, his eternal beloved mother, Rohini Devi, would always keep him back to get blessings. She would have him give charity to Brahmins and give charity to cows, and she would have different yajnas and all different spiritual ceremonies to bless her little child. Now, because Balaram was Krishna's older brother by just a few days, still, he had although they were best of friends, still, he had a certain aspect of paternal sakyaras with the older brother protective concern for Krishna. So certain things Krishna would not do if Balaram was there. But on Balaram's birthday, Krishna would do all that. Of course, at night, Balaram wasn't with Krishna, so he could go out. But during the day with the cowherd boys, do you think Balaram would have allowed Krishna to run into Agassura's mouth? So today, Balaram's appearance day, is the day of the pastime of Krishna's deliverance of Agassura. One of the most captivating, instructive, and exciting pastimes that have ever been revealed. And we know that after Agassura was so miraculously liberated by Krishna, Krishna and his friends, they were really hungry because they were inside Agassura's mouth for quite a while. And, exciting. So they were having lunch together in a very nice place. That same place is still there in Vrindavan. And the demigods, they feared Agassura so much. When they heard the news, in fact, they even saw it, how they came down and they were celebrating with all their drums. So Brahma wanted to find, who is this little Gopal? He wasn't even old enough to herd the cows yet. He was still taking care of calves with Balaram, except that day. Balaram was home with Rohini having yajnas and abhisheks and everything that we'll be doing pretty soon. So when they were all sitting together, Brahma took the calves, and then Krishna went to look for them, and then Brahma kidnapped all the cowherd boys and put them all in a cave. And there are so many intricacies to this story that make it so fascinating. But essentially, it was time to go home and Krishna was all alone. And he wanted to fulfill the innermost desires of all the cows and all the gopas and gopis, the cowherd men and women. They all loved Krishna as their own son, more than their own children. And Krishna wanted to reciprocate. So he took the form of all the cowherd boys and all the calves and went home. The cowherd men, the cowherd ladies, the cows, they couldn't detect that there could be anything different. Krishna was so identical. And it's described There were multi-millions of cowherd boys and multi-millions of calves. And Krishna dressed just like them. He spoke just like them. Every feature was so identical that for a full year, the parents could not recognize. The only thing is, they never loved their children so much. And when it came close to the end of a year, Balaramji was with Krishna at the base of Govardhan Hill, and some of the cows saw their calves on the bottom of the hill, and they were on the top of the hill, and they came running down, and the cowherd men came running, chasing after them. When they reached the bottom, the cows were licking their calves as if they were trying to swallow them, with tears rolling down their eyes. And the cowherd men were astounded, and suddenly they looked at their sons, the cowherd boys, and they were embracing and crying, and Balaram was, what's happening? And then Krishna didn't even tell Balaram for 1 year. And how expert is Krishna that he hid it not only from everyone in Vrindavan, but even Balaram did not even think that there's anything different. Although he's seeing the whole year that everybody loves their children more than ever before. On this day, he realized that they're all Krishna. And Krishna agreed. On Balaram's appearance day, Balaram stayed back again. This is 2 years in a row. At that time, Brahma came down to see, because it was only a moment for him. And when he came down, he saw all the cowherd boys playing and all the calves grazing. And he went to the cave where he hid them, and he saw they're there and they're here. But how could they be here and there? But still they're there and they're still here. It's called Brahma Vimohan. Brahma was bewildered. And then Krishna manifested his four-armed form of Vishnu in each of the calves and each of the boys. And then Brahma was even more bewildered. And suddenly, Krishna just became a little cowherd boy with some dahi, yogurt, and fruit in his hand, standing there looking for his friends and calves, and Brahma fell unconscious. And Krishna woke him up. And at that time, when Brahma opened his eyes, he could see Vrindavan. He saw the same place, but he didn't see. Just moments before, he was seeing the Yamuna and the Govardhan and the trees and the cows and the boys. But now that he completely surrendered to Krishna, that I don't know anything, Krishna, I'm yours. He had the vision to actually see how every cow was Surabhi cow. Every tree was a Kalpabriksha tree. Every grain of dust was Chintamani, more precious than all the wealth of the heavenly worlds, including Brahmaloka. In that state, he offered prayers to Krishna. It's so special on this day of Balaram Jayanti when he offered those prayers. And it's so special to us because In the early 1960s, Srila Prabhupada began translations and purports of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Previous to that, he wrote small books, and he was also editor of Back to Godhead. Srila Prabhupada lived beside Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami's Samadhi in Vrindavan at Radha Damodar Temple. And he translated it and wrote purports, and also made every effort for every aspect of the publication of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he had that, he came to the West. We know the story on that cargo ship, 38 days in Butler, Pennsylvania, the Bowery, Malati Devi Prabhu. We know that wonderful history. Srila Prabhupada traveled around the world over 12 times. And in 1977, in Vrindavan, I think we've all seen some of those videos that His Grace Yadubar Prabhu had taken, where even when he couldn't sit physically, he was still dictating the translations and purports of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the last translations and last purports of Srila Prabhupada's manifested pastimes in this world were the story of Lord Balaram's appearance day, in other words, the story of Lord Brahma's bewilderment, just beginning his prayers. And when we go to Vrindavan, there are thousands of Radha and Krishna temples. And most of our Goswamis, Radha Govinda, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Shama Sundar, Radha Raman, Radha Damodar, Radha Gopinath, Radha Giridhari. Srila Prabhupada did something very unique. He installed Radha Shama Sundar. And actually, in Vrindavan, even among the Brijbasis, most everyone believes that Srimati Radharani is most beautifully manifesting herself at the ISKCON temple. But the center altar is Krishna Balaram. What other temples in Vrindavan? There's the Dauji temple, which was, of course, Vajranath, 5,000 years ago installed. But in the village of Vrindavan, Krishna Balaram temple. Srila Prabhupada put Krishna and Balaram in the center and named the temple. Because Balaram is our original guru. Rajendra Nandana Jai Sachi Shuta Hoilo She, Balarama Hoilo Nitai. Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram came as Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Parama Karuna Pahundo Ichana Nitai Goda Chandra. Nitai Goda Chandra are supremely merciful. Karuna is compassion, mercy, unconditional kindness. In Krishna's Leela, Balaram was all powerful. We'll discuss this in the next lecture. If this one ends, I'm so sorry. I wanted Vaisheshika Prabhu to sit beside me to control me, but he's so liberal. Krishna killed many demons. And Thakur Bhaktivinoda explains in the Chaitanya Shikshamrita that each of the demons that Krishna killed represents certain obstacles on the path to the eternal loving service of Vrindavan. But the two demons that Balaram killed, Dhenukasura and Palambasura, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Krishna could remove all of these other demon obstacles if we really take shelter of him. But the demons that Balaram killed are the ones we absolutely need the mercy of our gurus to reach that mercy of Krishna. He's Guru Tattva. He's the original servant. Prabhupada called Balaram the supreme servitor personality of Godhead. His power, his strength, his killing of Dhenukasura, Pralambasura. Have you read the story of how he killed Vavida? Balaram was powerful. Balbala. All the great giants and the generals of the leaders of the Kuru dynasty. Balaram, with one strike of his plow, he caused them all to fear and surrender to him. And Romaharshan Sutta, with one little piece of straw, he touched him and he was gone. It's Balaram. Srila Prabhupada describes Balaram represents spiritual strength. And we should pray to Lord Balaram to give us the spiritual strength to tolerate temptations, to resist anger and greed, to somehow or other overcome envy, arrogance, and illusion. We can't do it. All of these forces are infinitely more powerful than any one of us could ever be. Even great yogis like Vishwamitra were easily just flicked aside by these powers unless we surrender. And in order to surrender under these conditions of this world, we need to pray to Lord Balaram for this strength. And Balaram's strength is descending through the disciplic succession of spiritual masters. In this way, Balaram is all-powerful. But when he comes in Kali Yuga with Lord Chaitanya in the form of Nityananda, he exhibits a power greater than he ever exhibited before. The power of his forgiveness, his compassion, his mercy. upon even the most fallen. Lochan Das Thakur sang that beautiful song that Lord Nityananda, he doesn't get angry like Balaram does. He simply gives mercy. Dina hina yata chilo hari namu tarilo. Tara sakshi jagai marai. Akroda paramananda. Nityananda. To Jagai and Madhai, they insulted him. Madhai tried to kill him, smashed him in the head, bleeding. And Nityananda, he has all the power of Balaram because he is Balaram. He cried with folded hands, please take the name of Krishna and be happy. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to kill them, according to the karma they deserved, Nityananda Prabhu begged Lord Chaitanya, please give them mercy. That's Guru Tattva. That's Nityananda Prabhu. In this age of Kali, Srila Prabhupada established the Krishna Balaram temple because, as Vaisheshika Prabhu spoke this morning, even though I wish I could have been here, he sang that beautiful song of Narottam Das Thakur, Nitai Padakamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala. Nityananda is most merciful. We cannot approach Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan without the mercy of Lord Nityananda. This is a spiritual principle. The people of Kali Yuga, in order to approach Radha Shamsundar, need to be educated how to receive the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who reside forever in Vrindavan as Krishna Balaram. And on the installation, Srila Prabhupada personally did the arti for Krishna Balaram. To give that prominence. Because Srila Prabhupada really, truly was the personification of Lord Nityananda's mercy. He established Gaur-Nitai temples all over the world and taught us how to approach Radha and Krishna appropriately. And Nityananda Balaram, he established the Namhata, the marketplace of the holy names. And here, ISV, ISKCON Silicon Valley, is a most illustrious manifestation of Prabhupada's mercy to live in devotion to this Namhata, of distributing the mercy of the holy names. Back to the initiation. That's why we're here. We're taking serious responsibility with grateful hearts to give to orchestrate and harmonize every aspect of our life in a way to please our gurus and Krishna. Within ISKCON, all the gurus, Shiksha gurus, Diksha gurus, and all other senior Vaishnavas, we're all a family trying to assist Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada would beg us, all his devotees, for all generations, with tears in his eyes, please help assist me in my service to my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. It's very special because this initiation ceremony, it seems like really Krishna's arrangement that he wouldn't allow it to happen for several years, and a lot of you have been waiting a long time. Krishna wanted this ceremony to be in the year that was the 100th anniversary of when Srila Prabhupada got the instruction of his Guru Maharaj. Speaking of Guru Tattva and initiation, this year, 2022, was the first time in manifested lifetime that Srila Prabhupada met his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And upon the first moment of their meeting, he was given this instruction. You are educated young man. Take the message of Lord Chaitanya in the English language all over the world. Just meeting somebody for the first time, getting an instruction like that on a little rooftop in a little one-story building in Calcutta. Srila Prabhupada had a famous discussion with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur at that time, 100 years ago. And within minutes, Srila Prabhupada, in his heart, he said, I accepted him as my eternal spiritual master and father. And he took that order as his life and soul. Vyavashayatmaka buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahushaka skirantascha buddhayo vyavashayana. Srila Prabhupada would quote Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary of this verse, that those who are in this path are resolute in purpose and their aim is one. And what does that mean to us? To make the order of our spiritual master our life and soul. Srila Prabhupada not only taught perfectly, comprehensively everything we need to know to achieve the highest perfection of Lord Chaitanya's gift of entrance into Goloka Vrindavan, but his example as an acharya shows us the path. I was speaking with Vaisheshika Prabhu just yesterday. The austerities Srila Prabhupada endured to give us Krishna consciousness, to give the world Krishna consciousness. He started with nothing on a little cargo ship, and now there's thousands of temples and millions of devotees and hundreds of millions of books. And Srila Prabhupada, he expressed that he was showing his gratitude to his spiritual master. Yes, Balaram Jayanti, the day when we especially celebrate this idea of Guru Tattva. Let us bow our heads in gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and all those who are participating in his most compassionate, loving service. It is a commitment to this purpose that we take vows of initiation. It is a supreme blessing to receive this grace, to receive this opportunity. From the perspective of little me, I'm just trying to be the servant of Srila Prabhupada's devotees and assist in this mission. And I'm humbly asking each and every one of you to do the same. Never forget the verse that Mahaprabhu taught us to keep on our heart always. Trinada pisani chena, taror iba sihishnana, amanina manatena kirtaniya sada. To strive to be more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than tree, to find our joy in offering all respect to others. But we can't do that unless we demand no respect for oneself. Is that difficult? Yes, we're programmed in an opposite way by the false ego. But that needs to be our standard and our ideal. That needs to be the compass that we align all of our words, actions, and thoughts in the direction of in every aspect of our life. Because then Krishna will be pleased to reveal himself and give us that higher taste of love, Krishna Prema, as we are chanting his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So every day, don't just take it as an austerity, take it as a blessing that we get to chant at least 16 rounds. And if we don't see it as a blessing, take it as an austerity. But we have to take responsibility. That's how we make advancement. And no illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. Actually, it's the most positive things of life. Because when we say no to these things that distract us, we simultaneously, in order to do that, we have to say yes to the things that attract us to Krishna. I'm so proud of all of you. I'm so grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. Because you have all been sitting for such a long duration of time, let's have kirtan for about 3 or 4 minutes and everyone can stand up. If you happen to need to respond to nature's call, please do so. I'll be right back.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Hare Krishna. If I may request devotees to move forward 5 by 8 inches if possible, so we can accommodate. We have so many guests standing in the parking lot and it's quite hot out there. So if we can, as much as we can squeeze in, and also please let's leave a space so devotees can come to take their beads. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So now we'll call out the names. You can come in the order that we call out. Also, you can remove your mask before you come here. And you can pay obeisances to Guru Maharaj and then take the vows and the beads and your name. And then after that, you can actually go and pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada.
In order for that to work, there needs to be a pathway. If some of the engineers in here, any engineers? If you can figure out, Mayapur Bihari seems to figure out how to distribute 1 million Bhagavad Gitas in a couple of years. If you can figure out how to make a pathway so the devotees can offer their obeisances properly. Arigato. Pardon?
Timar Nandi Prabhu. Timar Nandi Prabhu. Please remove your mask as you come here. Ankur Sharma Prabhu, you can be ready.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I vow to chant minimum of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and follow the regulative principles of no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and also try to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission in the humble mood of servant of the servant of the servants.
Thank you, Brahma. You can take your mask off for this. Initiation means unmasking. But following the regular principles is kind of like masking. Thank you very much, Brahma. Very grateful to you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm very honored to give you the name Tulsi Vilas Das.
His Grace Tulsi Vilas Das Prabhu ki.
When you pay obeisances, please don't show your feet towards Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Akshay Prabhu, please be ready.
Tulsi Vilas Das Prabhu Ki.
my humble request is when His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu says the name of the devotee, everyone should say Jai in a way that the demigods shower flowers. Can you do it again, Vaisheshika?
Tulsi Vilas Das Prabhu Ki.
Something like that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Today I take the vow to chant at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, follow 4 regulative principles, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication and no gambling. And I vow to try to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, I'm very happy to give you the name Ananta Nitai Das.
Ananta Nitai Das Prabhu Ki.
I really miss you doing like this.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I would like to take the vows to chant at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day for the rest of my life, and also follow the regulative principles of no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, and no intoxication. I'd also like to follow Srila Prabhupada's movement and serve in it in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant.
In regard to intoxication, Balaram was famous for being intoxicated. So was Lord Nityananda. But they were intoxicated with ecstatic love for Krishna. And that's how we can transcend all intoxications. Param dristva nivartate. Varuni. Yamuna thought he was intoxicated. But then she realized he was intoxicated on a transcendental platform. And Nityananda Balaram is distributing that intoxication in the form of Harinam Mahamantra, Kirtan Rasa. So thank you for having a little trouble remembering intoxication. Help me to remember that, thank you. I'm very grateful to you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm very grateful to give you the name Achyuta Balaram Das.
Achyuta Balaram Das Prabhu Ki.
Pravat Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. I vow to chant minimum of 16 rounds every day for the rest of my life, of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for the rest of my life. I also vow to follow the 4 regulative principles, which is no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. I also vow to follow Srila Prabhupada's mission in the mood of servant of servant of servant. Thank you so much for accepting me.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being accepted. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm truly honored to offer you the name Ananga Sundari Devi Dasi.
Ananga Sundari Devi Dasi Ki.
Anuja Mataji, you can be ready.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. I would like to take the vow that, like, from today on till the rest of my life, I will chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I also want to take the vow that I will follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. And every day I'll strive to be a servant of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of a humble servant. Please accept me.
I'm your servant, Prabhu. So grateful to serve you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, we offer you the name Prema Nitai Das.
It's grace, Premanitai Das Prabhu Ki.
Do you know what else happened on this day of Balaram Jayanti? This is the day Krishna danced on Kaliya's hoods. Because Kaliya could have never put Krishna in his coils if Balaram was around. So Krishna, what to speak of all the boys drinking poison and dying. Krishna had this pastime on Balaram Jayanti. It's a very special day to get out of the coils of Maya and have Krishna dance on our tongues as we chant the holy names.
Antaray Prabhu, please be ready.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I vow to chant minimum 16 rounds every day. I vow to follow 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And I vow to serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, I'm very grateful to offer you the name Ananda Prema Devi Dasi.
Ananda Prema Devi Dasi Ki.
Vijay Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Srila Guru Maharaj. In this auspicious day, in front of the Lordships, in front of all the assembled devotees, and Srila Prabhupada and yourself, I take the vow of chanting at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. I take the vow to follow the 4 regulative principles, that is, no meditating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. And I take the vow to strive for the mission of Srila Prabhupada in a mood of servant of the servant of the servant of Srila Prabhupada and his disciples and his devotees.
Thank you very much. On Srila Prabhupada's behalf, we offer you the name Ananta Ballabha Das.
Ananta Balava Das Prabhu Ki.
Much, much, much louder, please.
Ananta
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I take the vow to chant minimum of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. And I take the vow to follow the 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. And I try to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the mode of servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, we offer you the name Braja Jivana Das.
His Grace Braja Jivana Das Prabhu Ki.
Brajesh Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today I take a vow to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra minimum every day, and to follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. I will try to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission in a humble mood of servant of the servant of the servant. I'm very grateful for your mercy, Maharaj.
I'm very grateful to you. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Parampara, I'm very happy to give you the name Champak Gopi Devi Dasi.
His Grace Champak Gopi Devi Dasi Ki.
Premlata Mataji, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today I take vow to chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day and follow 4 regulative principles, which are no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. And I'll try to follow Srila Prabhupada's mission in humble mode of servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you for your mercy, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, very grateful to give you the name Brajanath Das.
Grace Brajanath Das Prabhu Ki.
Vijayendra Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Today, on the auspicious occasion, I want to take a vow to chant a minimum of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for the rest of my life. I also want to take the vow to follow the regulative principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And also I want to take a vow to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada in the humble mode of a servant of a servant of servant to the best of my ability. Thank you for accepting, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, we happily offer you the name Prema Madhuri Devi Dasi.
Her Grace Prema Madhuri Devi Dasi Ki.
Rambabu Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. I vow to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily and follow the 4 regulative principles of no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. And by your blessing, grace, and mercy of all Vaishnavas, I hope to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission in the mood of a servant, of a servant, of a servant.
Thank you, Prabhu. On Srila Prabhupada's behalf, we offer you the name Brajendra Gopal Das.
His Grace Brajendra Gopal Das Prabhu Ki.
Lavanya Mataji, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I vow to chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra daily. I vow to follow the 4 regulative principles, which are no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. I vow to serve the Srila Prabhupada's mission in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant, to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. On Srila Prabhupada's behalf, we give you the name Rohini Dulal Das.
His Grace Rohini Dulal Das Prabhu Ki.
Much louder, please. Thank you.
Nitish Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I vow to chant minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra for the rest of my life. I vow to follow 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. I vow to follow Srila Prabhupada mission in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada's behalf, on very happy to offer you the name Labhanga Saki Devi Dasi.
Her Grace Labhanga Saki Devi Dasi Ki.
Carly Mataji, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. I vow to chant at least 16 good rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for the rest of my life. I also vow to follow the 4 regulative principles, that's no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating and no illicit sex. I vow to cooperate with the devotees and to serve in the mission of Srila Prabhupada humbly in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. On behalf of our Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, we offer you the name Nityananda Rai Das.
His Grace Nityananda Rai Das Prabhu Ki.
Vinay Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, Swami, thank you so much for being here and for showing some mercy on a poor soul like myself. I'm humbled and grateful to take these vows before you, before their lordships, the sacred fire in our esteemed Vaishnava community. A vow of prayer to chant minimum 16 rounds every day. A vow of austerity to avoid all intoxication, except of course prema bhava. A vow of cleanliness to abstain from illicit sex. A vow of compassion, mercy, ahimsa, to never take meat, fish, or eggs. A vow of truthfulness, no gambling. And a vow of service to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission with all my heart, in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you, Gurudeva.
I'm truly grateful to you. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm very honored to offer you the name That was special. I'm very honored to offer you the name Brinda Priti Devi Dasi.
Her Grace Brinda Priti Devi Dasi Ki.
Much louder, please.
Priyanka Mataji, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. I take vow to chant at least 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day for rest of my life. I take vow to follow 4 regulative principles, which are no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. I take vow to strive to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission of practicing and preaching Krishna consciousness in the mood of servant up to best of my abilities. Thank you, Maharaj, for your kindness and always inspiring us to serve and follow Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, we offer you the name Bamsidhar Gopal Das.
Jai Bamsidhar Gopal Das Prabhu Ki.
Vedant Prabhu, you can be ready next.
I know this wonderful young Vaishnavi since she's this big. And even before, actually. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry, I'm too emotional today.
Me too.
I vow to chant at least 16 rounds every single day for the rest of my life. I vow to follow the 4 regulative principles: no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. I vow to sincerely work in Srila Prabhupada's movement in the mood of servant of the servant of the servant. And I vow that my entire life will be with a single purpose: to make you and Srila Prabhupada happy and proud.
I'm pretty happy. Srila Prabhupada's happiness is our life and soul. Thank you very much. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada, our Guru Parampara, we offer you the name Priti Gaurangi Devi Dasi.
The grace Priti Gaurangi Devi Dasi Ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vijayaram Prabhu, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Today I take vow of chanting minimum 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. I vow to follow 4 regulative principles of Krishna consciousness, which are no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, and no gambling. I also try to serve mission of Srila Prabhupada in the humble mood of servant of servant of servant. I am very grateful to you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. His name is Vedanta, which means the conclusion of all the Vedas. On Srila Prabhupada's behalf, we're very happy to offer you the name Venu Govinda Das.
Grace Venu Govinda Das Prabhu Ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Shirsha Mataji, you can be ready next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Today I vow to chant minimum 16 rounds every day. I vow to follow 4 regulative principles, mainly no meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. and I vow to serve Srila Prabhupada mission in the mode of servant of the servant of the servant. Grateful for your mercy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada's behalf, very much honored to give you the name Balaram Vilas Das.
His Grace Balaram Vilas Das Prabhu ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my most humble obeisance at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Today I am here to take a vow that I will chant minimum of 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra every day. And I will take a vow that I follow 4 regulative principles, mainly no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. And I take a vow that I will serve Srila Prabhupada mission in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Thank you, Maharaj, for accepting me, for your mercy. I am very grateful to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. On Srila Prabhupada's behalf, we offer you the name Shriji Priya Devi Dasi.
Okay, Sriji Priya Devi Dasi ki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Brenda Preeti Devi, this fell off your japamala.
Not the best start.
No, it's a good start. You just have to glue it back on. It's a perfect, most supremely auspicious start.
I call on those who are taking second initiation, Maharaj.
Yeah, you can just say their names and you can stand up and then everyone could say
yes,
very tumultuous jai.
Yes.
To invoke blessings upon them.
Okay. I ask Ananga Gopika Mataji to stand up. I ask Ananya Radhika Mataji. Sudevi Sakhi Mataji. The husband and wife of Sitarani Mataji and Rampriya Prabhu. Srivas Chandra Prabhu. Venudhari Gopal Prabhu. Sachinandana Gauranga Prabhu. And Ananta Chaitanya Prabhu. should we continue the yajna, or you have some words for the second initiates?
Whatever I said for the first initiates. Doubly applies for second initiates.
Sanat Kumaro Vatukama Deva Dea Shivsamam
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Swastik Sheshara Swastikana Swastina Swastina Hari Swastino Swastino Inda Swastino Nachananta Swastino Nachdevo Hare Om Krishna Vaisachidana Nagana Krishna Adi Purushaha Krishna Madhim Lam Krishna Krishna Adi Vasam Krishna Kafi Krishna Prabharatma Om
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Would our God brothers and God sisters, Srila Prabhupada's disciples, like to speak some words of blessings upon the initiates?
Hare Krishna. For those of you taking your first vows today, for Harinam initiation as we call it now, in the Nectar of Devotion introduction, Srila Prabhupada expresses that initiation is the beginning of your spiritual life. And I know some of you have been chanting for years. It's not that your chanting has been in waste or in vain. You are in preparation. But just like when I was 13 years old, I knew how to drive a car. My grandmother taught me how to drive a car over in Bolinas in Marin County. But I wasn't legal on the road. It wasn't until I was 16 that I passed my driver's test and I got that little license. So in a similar way, using a kind of crude example, you are now fully prepared, connected to the Guru Parampara. And I heard many of you saying you'll try to serve the mission for the rest of your life. You didn't say you'd try to follow the rules and regulations. You said you'll do it. And in the same way, I humbly request, don't try to serve the mission, do it. You can say, I will serve this mission for the rest of my life. You know? Thank you. Thank you very much, and best wishes at every step.
Hare Krishna. I am wanting to wish each and every one of you complete success in your endeavors to follow your Guru Maharaj. Listen to his classes every day. You will be totally inspired, and to chant sincerely your japa every day and help serve this mission of Srila Prabhupada, which is really the only thing that can save this world. Best wishes.
So now you've been reborn, second birth, into the Krishna consciousness movement, into the line of parampara. And I wish all of you determination and steadfastness and enthusiasm and joy. Remember to practice joyfully. If you're not happy, take a breath. Think of Krishna dancing with the gopis or so many of the beautiful things you have to think about, and become joyful. And I have to double what Malati said. Just find a way to serve Srila Prabhupada's mission. There's so much to do. We've got a lot of spirit souls out there we have to connect with. So I wish you all the best, and go forth and prosper. Hare Krishna.
I remember hearing Srila Prabhupada say on a recording somewhere that just like when you get married, you get a whole group of new family and friends. And I think he also said you get some new enemies too. So now that you're initiated and welcome to this family, this branch of Lord Chaitanya's tree, and so we're part of a big team that we have a very serious mission to go out and spread Lord Chaitanya's teachings all over the world in this mood of the servant of the servant of the servant. And don't worry about those who are antagonistic too much to this movement, that we can just find those people who are receptive and who are ready to accept the mercy that can be offered through Srila Prabhupada's books and through the holy name and this wonderful ISKCON family. Welcome to the family.
Hare Krishna. Your Guru Maharaj said he's proud of all of you, and I can say you represent him very nicely. So please continue to do that. You are certainly blessed now, officially part of the Brahma-Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. It's very special, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it, like Malati said, you're legal now. So I wish you all success, and if I can be of any service, I would be delighted. So please call upon me for the biggest or littlest thing. It would be my honor. I wish you all success in every step of the way. And I am also very proud of you all. Thank you.
Maharaj, we all love you dearly, and we're so grateful that you're giving us your association. And even as you're moving around the world, meeting everyone at every second, you never stop. So we thank you millions of times. We wouldn't survive without you. Thank you. And for all of you super intelligent living entities who have taken shelter of Maharaj, we are your servants. We understand from Karbhajana Muni in the Srimad Bhagavatam that he sent you here specifically to expand the Sankirtan movement. It's right in the Sanskrit, so you'll have to live with that. And we're just so grateful to be part of this and to have the relationship with all of you. It's kind of a miracle, actually, how we've all come together here in this little postage stamp-size temple. But so much is happening here because of the spirit. And I really feel it's coming from Maharaj, that the way he's genuinely humble and fully dedicated to Srila Prabhupada with every breath. So let's follow in his footsteps and work together to do something that will please Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. Om Tat Sat.
actually Malati Devi Prabhu's realization. Getting your driver's license doesn't get you anywhere. It just gives you the authority and the blessings and the grace and the support, but still, you have to follow the right map. Srila Prabhupada's books are a map. And follow means you have to drive. It may seem like a long distance back to Godhead. But by the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, which is what we're committing ourselves to at initiation, and with our enthusiasm and our faith and our dedication, and all circumstances, armed with our driver's license and the holy names, we keep driving. And with those words, please perform the fire sacrifice.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. So we'll do the Mangalacharan prayers now, and if that can be projected on the screen. So when I say swaha and 3 times, then you can take some grains and then in the size of this, and then put it on the ball next to you. So because there are a lot of devotees, we can just have made that arrangement, and in the end you can put it back in the fire. So, Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Idam Guruve Swaha Idam Namama Swaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Idam Rupaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Idam Gurubhyo Swaha Idam Namama Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanatha Swami Nitinamine Idam Diksha Guruve Swaha Idam Namama Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Idam Prabhupadaya Swaha Idam Namama Swaha 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 Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Nitinamine Sri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana दायिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वल प्रेमाध्या श्रीरूपानुग भक्तिदा श्री गौर करुण शक्ति विग्रहाय नमोस्तुते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धापा अपसिद्धांता द्वांता हारिणे इदं भक्ति सिद्धांताय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षात् वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भ रसाम्बोधे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः इदं गौरकिशोराय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानंद नामिने गौरशक्ति स्वरूपाय रूपानुगा वरायते इदं भक्तिविनोदाय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 गौराविर्भाव भूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्ट सज्जनप्रिय वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः इदं जगन्नाथाय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 वाञ्छा कल्प तरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः इदं वैष्णवेभ्यो स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते इदं कृष्णाय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 जयतं सुरतौ पंगोर मम मंदा मतेर्गतिः मत्सर्वस्व पदाम्भोजौ श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहनौ इदं संबंधाय देवाय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 दिव्या वृंदारण्या कल्पद्रुमदः श्रीमद् रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविंददेवौ प्रेष्टालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि इदम् अभिदेयाय देवाय स्वाहा इदं नमः स्वाहा 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 श्रीमान रास रसारंभी वंशीवट तटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुर् स्वनेर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः इदं प्रयोजनाय देवाय स्वाहा इदं न मम स्वाहा 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 तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये इदं राधायै स्वाहा इदं न मम स्वाहा 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 श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा गौरभक्तवृंदेभ्यो स्वाहा 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 ओम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे स्वाहा 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 ओम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे स्वाहा 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 ओम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे स्वाहा स्वाहा स्वाहा. So this concludes the Mangalacharan prayer of that, and then we offer Prayaschitta Homa, where we beg for forgiveness for any offenses committed. If you can, just repeat after me. If not, it's okay. Om Mantrahinam Kriyahinam Bhaktihinam Janardhana Yat Pujitam Maya Deva Paripurnam Tadastu Me Aparadha Sahasrani Priyante Harnisham Maya Dasoham Itimam Matva Shamasva Madhusudhana Pratignya Tava Govinda Name Bhakta Pranashyati Iti Samsmritya Pranami Dharyahamyaham Swaha Swaha Swaha. So this concludes the Purnahuti, and for the last step, you have the coconut in front of you. You can take the coconut and you can stand, and then we'll do the last portion, which is the Purnahuti, and then we can circumambulate. Om Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Swaha Swaha Swaha. So you can take the coconuts. Please make it sure to put it around. Don't put it on the fire. It will be going. So, and you can one by one come and please put it. And then we can do the kirtan, please. Yes. And after that, you can make some space so that Maharaj can go first.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare
Yeah, and you need to make space. Make some space so that Maharaj can go. Yeah. Fatapat, fatapat.
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Keep it on the fire, please.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Fatapat.
Hare Rama Hare Rama
It's okay, Mother.
Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare
It's okay, Mother. You won't put all the fire. Fire is. Put on the side.